Betty.
Okay. I'm Wayne.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're here with Nick Varricchio from the play Happy Days at the Westchester Broadway Theater, which you can see the stage behind us, and there'll be people milling around. So we may have some ambient noise, but we are so pleased to have Nick with us. Stephanie and I are reviewers, as you know, and we saw the show and we just loved it. And we wanted to review Nick primarily for the reason that he's so great in it. And a show like this really is an iconic show with an iconic character, and we really wanted to get from him how he was able to pull it off. So,
ooh, I still feel like I'm trying to pull it off.
well, tell us how you. First of all, were you trepidatious when the part came up for the Fonz?
Yeah, a little. But when I first got the breakdown, it said Happy Days, the musical, and I was like, why are they making it a musical? But then I did it, and then I found out that my good friend Jonathan Stahl was directing it, so I felt like this would be a really safe environment to step outside my comfort zone and take on this iconic role. And then eventually I just kind of threw caution to the wind and said, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try and find this character in me. And I still get a little nervous, but I feel like if Henry Winkler came, I'd be doing him proud.
Well, we met Henry a couple of years ago at one of those shows, and he was just the nicest person. And we know people who know him. And
You gotta give him a call and tell him to come to the show.
We're gonna tweet, so he'll be on. Yes, but
I have to write him. That's on my list.
I'm sure he would love your performance. And here's the thing: growing up with the Fonz for me was, he was on everything, and you just captured the right tone. And I was really wondering when you first walked out, is he gonna really be the Fonz?
In fact,
Is he really gonna do it?
I don't know. Didn't take long.
I think that every day, knowing that the audience is probably thinking.
Well, what did you do to prepare? Like, did you watch
So
old episodes
what
of
I
Happy
did,
Days?
what I did was I watched American Graffiti first, which was a fantastic film. I told everybody about it because I heard that Happy Days was kind of a representation of that time and that period, and it's a brilliant film. And then I think one of the first things I did was I watched the best of Fonz on YouTube. I checked out all the best of clips, and then I started slowly trying to watch the episodes. I also wanted to do like a back entrance in terms of getting into character, so I watched the making of Grey Gardens with Drew Barrymore and Jessica Lange, and I would watch their interviews, and they would talk about, just getting the voice and then the mannerisms, and then you'd be able to slip right into that character. And I thought, how clever. So I did that. And I also remember a long time ago, there was this made-for-TV movie that Lorna Luff produced. It was Me and My Shadows, based on her mom, Judy Garland.
Right.
And I remember one of the interviews, because I got the DVD, and I watched Tammy Blanchard being interviewed. And she was asked, well, how'd you get the role? Weren't you nervous? And she said, yeah, I was really nervous about getting the role, and I even went to Judy Davis, who signed on to be the older version of Judy Garland. And she said, how you feeling? And she said, I don't know if I can do it. And Judy Davis responded, well, it's not so much as a matter of if you can do it or not, but whether you're up for the challenge. And then she was like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. And then I looked back on that and I was like, that's how I gotta think. I gotta be up for this challenge and find the essence of Henry Winkler as the Fonz. And one of the best parts about Henry Winkler is the fact that he always talked about how he approached the Fonz as this real person. He's not a caricature. He was an actor about the entire thing, and he was very smart. And so I looked up to that, and I would always keep that in my mind.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
As a director, if I were directing a show, I'd be very concerned about whether or not you could, because in most shows you got to make the part your own, but in this one you had the double duty of capturing the essence of the Fonz, but you still had to bring something of your own to it, otherwise you'd
Then
be
you
a
look
caricature.
like a caricature, right?
Yeah.
You're almost phony.
It's funny. I took the script to Bryant Park in New York City.
Awesome place.
And I told my friend Jody, come on down. I got the script and I gotta memorize it in like 2-3 days. And so she comes down and we're going through the script and she's quizzing them on lines. She goes, Nick, let's talk about Fonz. And because she grew up with it, as many people grew up with Happy Days, and she got up and she would act how Pinky Tuscadero would act, and she'd say the Fonz would do this, the Fonz would do that. And she was really pivotal in helping me out. just giving me some clues and hints, and there she was performing in Bryant Park. And kind of introducing me to who the Fonz was and his signature things and nailing that on the head.
So
Well,
you kind of had a double responsibility, obviously 2 or 3 days to learn your lines, but then to also be able to bring to it those other elements.
I know.
Was that
I know,
more
it was so
challenging than other
daunting.
roles you've played? Did you feel, or?
I think this is the most challenging role I've ever had to come upon,
So
just
what
because of the expectation of who the Fonz is, and then also what you want to bring to the role and how you want to do it justice, but put your own personal flair on this iconic character. That was a challenge, and then I really felt like I was doing a good job of it. And one day in Pick a Bagel in Midtown, I just started crying because I was like, I don't know if I can pull it off. And this was during tech, and I called my mom, and these poor people next to me probably thought I was breaking up with someone or lost a relative, and I didn't want to wrap my bagel because I put ketchup down, and here I am going like, I don't know if I'm enough. And I was like, get out of Pick a Bagel and go to the street, get air.
Imagine you telling them, it's because I can't play the Fonz.
Yeah, and it was just the pressure. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, but once I had that good cry, and once I realized that it's certainly within reach, it all dissipated, and of course, Jonathan was so good about creating a fantastic safe space for all of us to work. He was so open, which wanted us as actors and people to be open. So I made for a great rehearsal process.
Well, you nailed it. We feel you nailed it. The reviews are in. You've gotten great reviews. So how does it feel now? You're sort of in the middle of the run, and what's happening?
It feels great. I feel like we've found our footing. The show's very strong, and now I'm really, really having fun with it. And I'm not going overboard, but I'm having enough fun to know that this is the world. And it's what's also great about this show is that the Fonz isn't in so many production numbers. He's kind of in the back for the production numbers, and then has his own few solo songs. And I get to watch those big, grand MGM dances, and they're singing and they're dancing, and it's really fun because it gets me in the mood, but it's also, I get to appreciate and enjoy and laugh with my fellow actors on
You
stage.
get just to stand there and be cool.
And I get to just
and
hang
straddle
out
the
at the jukebox.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
You ever ride a motorcycle before?
No, I'm too nervous.
See, now you just get to pretend.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay, you just told about 400,000.
Woo! Well, we'll have those 400,000 people. Don't tell anybody.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Nick. We look forward to seeing you again.
I can't wait.
And if you haven't seen it, you must see Happy Days at Westchester Broadway Theater. You will be very happy you did.